Hey folks, how are you? Brad here, of course. I wish that you're all well. I'm back on my farm again. Up here by myself at the moment. Son encouraged me to come up so we could have a night alone, so that's what I'm doing. It's twilight and very clear, a beautiful day. Should be a very beautiful starry night. Might try for a gentle contact night tonight. Nothing too serious. Be tired from driving, but anyway, it should be fun. I thought today I would talk about one of the fundamental things of being a human being, and that is to know yourself and to figure out who am I. We have all kinds of distractions at this time in our civilization's growth, none more so than the internet and all that it promises. I'm a fan of the internet and all our electronic toys and gadgets, the things that we can take with us, all the portable stuff. I love all that stuff, but I also have limits to how much I allow it to be part of my life. And of course it plays a significant role. If it didn't, you wouldn't be listening to this now, recorded on my trusty iPod. Oh, there's a kangaroo. And there's a rabbit. Rabbits shouldn't be here, but they are. Kangaroos are a bit touchy here, unlike in the mountains. That's a big male. We don't see too many kangaroos close by, about 50 metres from the house at the moment. But we do have quite a few sometimes in our paddocks, up to 100 or so. But there's not many here compared to in the mountains. Mostly that's because the farmers shoot them. But we're very happy to have them here. It's one of the reasons I like to look after the land so that the wildlife comes back. So I've mentioned before that there are only two questions worth asking. I think that's worth repeating. And when I say the only ones worth asking, I mean we can ask all kinds of things. We can be interested in space and technology and science and philosophy and a whole lot, but fundamentally if we don't turn our curiosity inwards, it doesn't serve much purpose and it doesn't bring us lasting satisfaction or peace. So the two questions worth asking are, who am I? Or another way of putting that is, what am I? The who kind of implies I'm someone, and a someone still has layers to peel back, whereas what implies you've already got past the layers. So, what am I? And what is it that is asking, what am I? So I thought today I would just very quickly explore that. I'm just having a short walk. I've got some dinner that's just turned off, so I've got to get back. I just let it heat a little bit longer. So this will just be a quick discussion about this subject. So when we go through the process of asking, what am I, we can come up with all kinds of possibilities. For most people, they'll come up with, what they do, what their name is, what their work is, and their specialisation in terms of their occupation. And if they peel back the layer a bit more and ask that question again, what am I? They'll come up with being a parent, a child, a father or mother, uncle, auntie, and so on. And peel back the layer again, come back to being a human being, peel back the layer again, and come back to being an animal, peel back the layer again, you'll come back to being a living organism. And if you peel back the layer again, you may come back to noticing that you're a body. Just got to be careful with long grass here, and don't tend to have snakes this time of the year, but I've actually seen one out, so got to be a bit careful. It's very dry, as you can hear, not enough rain this time of the year. Oh, prickle in my boot. Never had any prickles. Really should have had jeans on, walking around in long shorts and no socks on. So when we peel back these layers, we penetrate what we really are, and we become focused on getting to the core of our being, if you like. So when we investigate the fact that we are a living organism and the body is a hair running off, we can go down a couple of different paths. One is we can go intellectual, and we can, peel back and go into our bodies, and then the further we go into the body, we discover that we are these different components of the body, different cells, and inside of the cells, molecules and atoms, and then subatomic atoms, all the way down to pure energy, if you like, and fundamentally nothing, pure emptiness, with a void. So we can discover that going an intellectual path. Simultaneously or separately, we can go down a felt path, and we can experience what is it to be in our being, what is it to be in this body, and feel everything that arises. We can feel all the information and sense all the information coming through the five senses. We can go inside the body, big spider web, I'll walk around that, and we can sense feeling of tissue, muscle, tendons, ligaments, bones, even the flow of blood. You can feel what it is within certain organs. So depending on how we want to approach this felt experience, we can then begin to peel back the layers of the body's experience. And ultimately we can also go back inside to the cells and the molecules, the atoms, energy, and pure void. Ultimately, whichever path we choose, we realise that fundamentally a human being and what we are is nothing. There is nothing to us. We are composed entirely of nothing. We are fundamentally an illusion. A human being is emptiness, as are all things, all phenomena in the manifest world are an illusion. They are nothing. They are empty. All phenomena are ever empty. Just standing here on the border of one of our properties. Hear the fence? Looking out into the neighbours' very desolate looking paddock for this time of the year. It's going to be a dust bowl in summer. So what we realise is that we are fundamentally composed of this emptiness, and so the sense of I that we have, the sense of self, is composed of all of these aggregates, all of these components that link together, so we can link back up the energy linked to these subatomic particles, or if you want to follow string theory, strings of energy, or depends whether you go down the string approach or the particle approach. Let's get to the molecules, and up into different substances, and into our tissues and so on, and to our body. So fundamentally this body is composed of all these different components. In themselves they don't exist, but collectively, together, they make up the I. And of course the mind exists within the body, exists within the brain, but the mind also exists beyond the body, and so we can go through the process of unveiling what we are by moving up in the scales and seeing that the mind is also boundless, not bound to time or space. If you believe what my friend Dude, the Mahadra, has told me, time doesn't exist, only space exists. So we are boundless through space. Our mind is boundless through space. Dude also argues that our body is boundless through space, depending on your perspective. So to ask, what am I, is to discover these different levels. So there is both I, so you are relative in relation to. There is this separate self, separate to other things, that exists as a composite of all these different things, all of these different aggregates. Buddhism talks about 5 aggregates, and the mind. So from Buddhist perspective, there is only 5 aggregates, which includes body and mind. So realizing that what we take to be the self is actually an illusion is very liberating, because then we don't get attached necessarily to all the things that cause suffering, and we don't try and avoid them either, realizing that self is just an illusion. Having said that, we must exist in the relative world, and if you just think of yourself in this illusion, you're not going to get the rent paid, you're not going to get your bills paid, you're not going to make the payments on your car, or pick up milk when you need it. So we have to accept that in a relative sense, I exist, but emptiness also exists. So to the second question, I'll make this brief because this is more an experiential thing that you need to do to make your own discoveries. What is it that is asking, what am I? So when you experience this sense of peeling back the layers, trying to fundamentally plumb what you are, unearth what you are, something is driving that process. So you can understand that intellectually, and you can have a felt experience of that. And the best way to have the felt experience of that is to go through it. And once you've completed that process and you feel an understanding of I and emptiness, then turn inwards and ask, what is it that is asking, what am I? And allow the felt sense of the answer to arise. It won't come with words. Language cannot capture that, cannot convey that. And it doesn't arise from within language. It doesn't arise from within the brain. It arises from beyond. Magpie in a gum tree, dropping gum nuts. Don't know why. Oh, some chows or another bird. And some ravens. And a willy wagtail. So give it a go, see if you can discover what you are. Now as to your true nature, here's where many people make the mistake of thinking their true nature is emptiness. Actually, your true nature is the movement between emptiness, which you know by stillness and silence, and the I, which you know by activity, by noise. But the I also experiences both. So your true nature is movement, in and out of stillness. So see if you can have a felt experience of that. See if you can take it beyond the intellectual experience of that. Anyway, I've got some dinner to have, so I hope that has been some use to you. The wind hasn't been too strong on this podcast. And I wish you a great day wherever you are. Take care till next monologue, and thanks for listening. Bye for now.